Thank you for joining us again. This is News Now, reaching you live from our news studios here in Lagos. The world today marks the International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. In this commentary, our correspondent Omolara Adebayo takes a look at the issue.
From rape, sexual assault, death and rape threats, and sexual harassment to trolling, gendered hate speech, disinformation, smear campaigns and threats to family members and kids, women are subjected to threats and attacks in the course of their work just for being as termed a weaker vessel. This year's theme, Bridging the Gender Digital Divide to Prevent, Address and Respond to Conflict-Related Sexual Violence, tends to stand in solidarity with the survivors and those supporting them to spark hope, knowledge and inspiration. Sexual harassment and gender-based hate speech have surged in the digital space, while the use of information and communication technology has contributed to the empowerment of women and girls and other groups in vulnerable situations. Its use has also enabled the propagation of violence. In some settings, disturbing trends of gender-based hate speech and incitement to violence-fueled conflict, in which rape and other forms of sexual violence are used to humiliate and destabilize targeted communities. Hate speech, including online, has become one of the most common ways of spreading divisive rhetoric on a global scale. Information and communication technology may be used directly as a tool for making digital threats and inciting gender-based violence, including physical or sexual violence, rape, killing, unwanted and harassing online communications, or even the encouragement of others to harm women physically. However, on the other hand, ICT can be used as a powerful tool to improve gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls, contributes to building their resilience in times of crisis, increase the prevention of sexual and gender-based violence, as well as help survivors fight against impunity and improved accountability. A 4-year review of sexual assault confirmed cases according to Lagos State University Teaching Hospital that began in 2018 and ended in December 2022 showed that 212 480 child rights complaints were received, and these cases include the factors of baby factories, poor parenting and child labor, to name a few. If sexual violence must be eliminated in conflict situations, governments, civil society organizations, and stakeholders must take proactive measures, including enacting laws and enforcing them to ensure punishment as well as deterrence. Victims must also be provided with some form of support to enable them to continue with a normal life.
Away from there now, former President of the Court of Appeal, Zainab Bukar, has said she never favored any party who appeared before her throughout her judicial career. She said this while reacting to feedback from her husband's statement confessing that he used his position to gain some favor his colleagues from his wife. In an interview later, Senator Bukar said his words were misrepresented, adding that it was the former president of the Senate who interrupted him while he was explaining. Speaking on Sunday, Justice Bukar said she never compromised her oath of office in the judicial system. The arrest and investigation of some top government appointees under the last administration have continued to elicit reactions from the citizens. Our correspondent Dennis Ofik has details.
2 weeks after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was inaugurated, key decisions already taken by his administration are attracting different thoughts from Nigerians.
Good note in terms of curbing corruption, but this is just not much of a significant part of it. Okay, Malami, Emefiele, and his cohorts really have a question to answer about the way they run the economy of this country.
He knows what to do. He knows the right thing to do. So, for him to arrest or suspend him, maybe is the best thing for him to do. Maybe that's why he did it.
It's the right step, but let's see the outcome first. The outcome will determine either it's a witch hunt or it's being motivated politically.
The man is going in a direct way that's all Nigeria wants him to be going. For example, when they arrested Emefiele, Did you see anybody complaining? Because before then, we know what is happening. You know how many people that die because of that money? Many people die. Maybe you are not aware of that. So a lot of things has happened during his own tenure that is not supposed to be. When you want to be a politician, you be a politician. You want to be a professional on your duty, you be a professional.
As you are now, if somebody employ you for office, are you going to obey the person or you are not going to obey? You obey your boss. But if you didn't obey your boss, which means you lose your job.
All these arrests will not solve our problem. You understand? Although I'm not a politician, but if I'm to say, all these arrests cannot help us.
President Tinubu was sworn in on the 29th of May 2023, and since then, the president has made some unexpected decisions, including the removal of fuel subsidy and the suspension of the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. The CBN became the first to receive the stroke of President Tinubu's government following the suspension of its governor, Godwin Emefiele, over his abysmal handling of the country's monetary system for the past 9 years. A similar treatment was given to Abdulrasheed Bawa, the suspended chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, over a weighty allegation of corruption. Many Nigerians are now becoming convinced about the president's consciousness of the Nigerian situation by the way he speaks assuredly to these issues, not as an aspirant, but a sitting president. The caution, however, is that investigations should be holistic and should not end the way of previous administrations, where investigations like this never see the light of the day. Dennis Ofik for iBrandTV News.
Away from there now, the National Inland Waterways Authority says preliminary investigations on the Kwara boat tragedy revealed that the vessel was very heavily overloaded. NIWA Managing Director Dr. George Mugalu said the vessel was carrying over 250 persons, including luggage, and the people were not wearing life jackets as they traveled in the dead of the night at about 2:30 a.m. Dr. Mugalu was speaking with journalists in Ilori after leading a delegation to make an on-the-spot assessment of the situation in Patigi communities over the weekend. The governor of Rivers State, Simi-Lai Fubara, has urged his predecessor, Nyesom Wike, not to stay away from him even if he crosses over to other side of the political divide. The governor said this on Sunday at a Thanksgiving reception for Wike at his private residence on Ada George Road in his own town, Rumwe-Kurukom, in the Obio-Akpo local government area of the state. His appeal is coming amid speculations that the former Rivers State governor could dump the People's Democratic Party for the ruling All Progressives Congress. Wike turned his back on his party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar during the 2023 general elections, supporting the candidate of the APC, Bola Tinubu, who eventually emerged victorious at the polls. And now, the immediate past Minister of Interior, Ogbeni Ralph Aregbesola, has attributed the achievements in his political career to the roles played by President Bola Tinubu and the former President Muhammadu Buhari in his life. Aregbesola, in a reception organized by concerned Muslim scholars and clerics in the southwest of Nigeria, said President Tinubu is a source of inspiration to him. A chief host of the occasion, Al-Imam Daud Oladele Tijani, described Ogbeni Ralph as a worthy exemplification of Omoluabi and a quintessential Yoruba person that is worth celebrating in all ramifications. The cleric noted that Aregbesola has endeared himself into the hearts of Muslims, having consistently presented himself as a good ambassador of Islam through his deeds in and outside governance, advising both Muslims and Christians to be good ambassadors of their faith.
I'm equally thankful to those who made the achievements that facilitated this grand reception possible. I started with those who mentored me in Lagos, who facilitated my emergence in Osun, who made it possible for me to do the little things that the young people are celebrating me with. I mentioned them by name, Ashwani Bola Tinubu and President Muhammadu Buhari. If any appreciation and gratitude will be given to me, I want to believe greater gratitude and appreciation should be given to those two people I've mentioned, because without their support, it would have been pretty difficult for me single-handedly to achieve the height I am in now and render the services.
A man of his word, very accommodative person. Anything anything good that you can think about Ogbeni Rauf.
I need to call my people together in Southwest so that that one will be a lesson for those that are seated there, that people are watching.